Hey, good morning, guys. This is Reggie Pegues, prosperingdad.com. Excuse me. Coming to you from the NYC. That's Queens, New York to be exact. And we're continuing our You Are Worthy series this morning. And as you can see in the title, we're going to talk about, are you lined up? Are we lined up? So I have a question for you. And the question is, are you okay? Are you okay? So you might be asking, Reggie, what do you mean by are we lined up? What do you mean, am I okay? Well, we need to be in alignment. We need to be in alignment. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Chandra. That's my sister's name. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. Happy Friday. And we need to be in alignment. We need to be in alignment emotionally. We need to be in alignment spiritually. We need to be in alignment physically. So you may be asking yourself, how do I know whether I'm in alignment or whether I'm out of alignment? And realistically, it's the way that you can know whether or not you're in alignment or you're not is you have to check in with yourself. You have to check in with yourself. You have to be in touch with yourself. Now, good morning, Stephanie. Good morning. How are you? Good to see you. You have to be in touch with yourself. Now, generally, what we do, we're in touch or we're aware of everything else and anything else that's going on around us. But as we spoke on Wednesday about what's holding you back, what we don't do is we don't do a self-assessment. We don't check in with ourselves. We don't, you know, engage with our feelings because we are feelings. We're everything about us is about feelings. Now, the thing about our feelings is that we need to be able to control our feelings because if we let our feelings lead us, if we let our feelings make a, make decisions for us, or we make decisions from an emotional place, oftentimes we will find that we'll miss the mark by doing so. But we have to be, our emotions have to be in line. We need to be in line spiritually because emotionally and spiritually affects our physical well-being. So we have to have ourselves lined up. And this takes practice. It takes effort. It's a concentrated thing that we have to work on consistently and persistently every day of our lives. So what struck me and why this topic came about is yesterday I had been going through a challenge for over 10 years. 10-year challenge, which seems to be a pretty long time. And in my own opinion, okay, it was really not worth it. Okay, I was involved in a family court situation regarding my daughter. And as God would see fit, a few years ago, almost 7 years now, my father, yes, my father gave me custody of my daughter. You know, I'm not going to get into the circumstances because I'm not a person that is about bashing somebody or pointing fingers, you know. Um, but as the Lord saw fit, He gave me custody of my daughter, and it was an ongoing thing because at first, when she was first born, the mother of my daughter tried to keep me away from her and out of her life, and I just wasn't going to be an absentee father. I just couldn't do it. It just didn't sit right in my spirit. So I fought. And then as the process went on, I ended up having custody of her. And tragically, 3 years ago, her mother passed away from cancer. But the grandmother kept up the fight because she was trying to fill the void of the loss of her own daughter by trying to take my own child. Now, I say that to say this. We all face challenges in this thing called life. But what we have to do is we have to check in with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to tell ourselves the truth. about how we feel about certain situations. How, does it make you, and it's okay to express your emotions as long as you're controlling them. Does the situation make you angry? Does it make you sad? Is it something that you need to address? So this process that I was going through finally came to an end yesterday. Now, to some, 10 years is a long time. To some, 10 years is not. But emotionally, I recognize that through this process, and we talked about this, if you catch the video, you can go back and catch the video on my YouTube channel about what's holding you back. What I realized yesterday was I wasn't really checking in with myself about the situation. I was just going through the process. It was just going through court dates, going through this, going through that, having to get on the stand and testify and listen to other. It was just that whole process. And if you've never been in a family court situation, if you've never been, be grateful. But I have to tell you, in terms of energy, or in terms of just a physical presence, a family courthouse is probably one of the most depressing places that you could ever be. Because while you're sitting there, you got lawyers talking to clients, and you're overhearing all these different people's stories, and it's just an energy draining thing. So when this thing was finally put to rest, because I had prayed for it, God showed me that it was coming to a conclusion. But when it was finally put to rest, I realized I wasn't checking in with myself. I didn't check in with myself emotionally. I didn't check with myself spiritually. And then I realized yesterday, after that burden had been laid down, physically what it did to me. To the place that I had to unplug yesterday, and I'm also unplugging today. I'm here today to shoot this video because I promised to deliver you guys videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But realistically, in terms of my business and other things that I have to do today, I'm just going to be quiet today, and I'm going to check in with myself, and I'm going to get myself realigned. I'm going to assess the process, what it did to me, and make sure that there's no latent things that I'm not addressing that could hold me back going forward. I shared this concept with a couple of my friends this week, and I recommended to them. And it's something that we really need to do, because, see, this message today ties into Wednesday's message of what's holding you back. And it could be something that you're just not aware of. It could be something that you're just not aware of. And the best way and the most cathartic way to get it out of your system is to write it down. Now, I wasn't always a proponent of writing things down until I really learned from my coaches and my mentors the value of it, how it's a releasing thing. How is it you can get it out your system? Now, you can verbalize it for some people, because people they learn differently. Some people are auditory. Some people are communicate verbally, and some people physically do things. So, but the one thing that's consistent is that when you write something down, it takes form. Something magical happens when you write it down. So, with a couple of my friends, a couple of people that I mentored this week, I suggested to them, listen. They had gone through some things that they go and not to beat themselves up, but to go through and sift through what possibly could be holding them back and write it out on paper. And the reports that I've gotten back have been amazing, and they felt better. They felt lighter. They felt as though now that they can move forward because they released. And there's a process, there's a forgiveness step. You have to forgive yourself. You have to probably forgive the person that caused you pain or anguish or harm. But getting it out, just writing it out and getting it out your spirit and just going over it and saying, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that I was feeling this way. I didn't realize that I wasn't lined up, that I'm out of step, that's what's going on with me. Emotionally, I'm not lined up with myself spiritually, and it's affecting me physically. Okay, so you want to check in with yourself, and then the last thing, like I just mentioned, you want to write it. You want to write it down to get it out. Write it down. Write it down. It's not about, you're not trying to write a book. You're trying to express your feelings, and you might write it in a form of a letter. You might, talk directly to that person that injured you. Now, this doesn't mean that you may engage that person or not. I don't know. That's up to you in terms of what level. But it's not coming from a place of being vindictive. It's not coming from a place of revenge. It's just something that you need to do that's going to help you feel better so you can move forward. Okay? So again, are we lined up? Are we lined up? And that takes effort. You have to be in touch with yourself to understand whether or not because I know you can feel it, whether or not you're in sync or you're out of sync. And most of the time we're out of sync because we're not touching base with ourselves. We're not connecting with ourselves to be sure that we're lined up emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Just write it down. Don't worry about it being perfect. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about, you just want to express your feelings. Whatever that situation may be. It might have been something, unfortunately, it might have been traumatic. It might have been something that someone said to you in a derogatory manner. It might have been whatever it is that's causing you pain, but if not addressing it, is causing you more injury than facing your fear and getting it out. And then you have the choice. After you've put it on paper, you can burn it, you can tear it up, you can do whatever. But the point is you want to express whatever that is on paper so you can get it out of yourself, and then you can experience the release that comes with it. Okay? So I always end these videos with letting you know that you are worthy. You deserve. And you got to give yourself permission to be happy, to live the type of life that you want to live, to enjoy the people and be surrounded by the type of people that you want to associate with. You're worthy to have the very best in life. You don't have to take seconds or crumbs from anybody, but you got to take your place at the table. You got to step up. You got to take 100% responsibility for self, and you have to have the desire and the faith to move forward. On that note, guys, as always, go over to YouTube to my personal channel, Hollis, HOLLIS 205 on YouTube. Like any video that you watch there, and be sure, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button today so you can, when I upload these videos, you'll be the first one to receive them. Hit the notification button here so you know when I come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays around 10 o'clock a.m. And like and share this video today because someone needs this word today. Okay? I want you guys to have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Do something positive. Do something positive for someone else, and watch it come back to you. Send out good energy, good vibes each and every day. And on that note, I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later.